Good morning, students. Hope you all are fine. Today I will start with the ball poem, which is from your First Flight book. The poem has been written by John Berryman. In this poem, the protagonist is a boy. By protagonist, I mean the main character. The main character is called as protagonist. Protagonist. Fine? So in this poem, the poet talks about a boy who, while playing, loses his ball. And he's very upset. Of course, a ball does not cost much. He can buy it again. So it is not very difficult for him to buy another ball. But the boy is upset because he wants the same ball. He cannot buy, it is not that he cannot buy balls. Of course he can buy. A ball does not cost much. But he wants the same ball. So, in this poem, the poet talks about reality of life which we all have to face one day. The poet has tried to give a message that we must accept the life as it is and we must understand that sorrows are a part of our life. Sukh, dukh, ye laga rehta hai. Life is not always a bed of roses. So right now we are going through a very tough time. So this is also a phase of life. No phase is permanent. ये भी निकल जाएगा. तो जैसे हैप्पीनेस नहीं लास्ट करता है, उसके बाद एक सैड पार्ट आता ही है, वैसे ये सैड पार्ट भी नहीं लास्ट करेगा. सो व्हेन वी आर वेरी इलेटेड, व्हेन समथिंग गुड हैपेंस विद अस, सो यस वी शुड बी अपसेट, बट वी शुड नॉट मोर्न द लॉस. लॉस इज इनएविटेबल. इनएविटेबल मतलब वी कैन नॉट अवॉइड इट. तो लॉस भी लाइफ का एक पार्ट है. So in this poem, the protagonist is a little boy who has lost his ball while he was playing with it. The ball went into the nearby river or water body. And then the boy kept standing there, waiting for his ball to come back. So the poet was standing there. And this sight made the poet think about the boy, because the boy was helplessly standing there. The poet then moves on to explain that this was the time when the boy got the first actual lesson of life, that nothing in this life is permanent. One or the other day, we will lose our loved ones or our loved things. So now I'll start with the actual poem. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over, there it is in the water. So here merrily means happily or cheerfully, and bouncing means jumping up and down. So here the poet is talking about a boy, that is the protagonist, the main character of the poem, who has lost his ball while he was playing. Now, when he says what is he to do? So, what? This is repetition. When two words are repeated. So, repetition. So, the poet now, he asks a question that what will be the boy's reaction? And why does he want to know the reaction? Because the boy has lost its ball. I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over, there it is in the water. So what is he saying? That he himself saw that while the boy was playing with the ball, it slipped from his hand and it happily or very cheerfully kept jumping up and down in the street, and then finally it fell into the nearby water body. So if you see, I have explained you about this literary device anaphora in the previous poem also. What is repeated in the consecutive lines. So this is anaphora, and these two words repeated in the same line, that is repetition. here, merrily bouncing down. Now this creates an image, that is the ball. Of course, when we read this merrily bouncing down, there is an image in front of us of the ball jumping up and down. This literary device is called as imagery. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands, rigid, trembling, staring down, all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him a dime. Another ball is worthless. Now he senses his first responsibility. So here, grief means sorrow. जब बहुत दुख होता है उसे बोलते हैं grief. Rigid, anything that cannot be molded, जो बहुत fixed हो, that is called as rigid. Trembling means shivering or shaking. Harbor means a dock or a port. And intrude किसको बोलते हैं? Intrude मतलब किसी के टेरिटरी में जाना. Invaders, हिस्ट्री में पढ़ा होगा आपने. That is intruders. And dime is a currency. Okay? So now the poet says that it is of no use to pacify the boy by saying that you will get another ball. Because of course he has other balls also, and the ball does not cost much. So an ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy. The boy is in an immense state of sorrow as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down. Now he is standing there because he is completely surrounded by sorrow, and he is standing there very helpless. And why is he helpless? Because he wants the same ball back, and he is staring down. He is continuously looking that it may happen that his ball would come back. So while he is standing there all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. Here the poet says that the boy is very sad as the ball which he loved has now gone into the water, and that ball reminds him of those sweet memories of those times when he possessed the ball, when he owned it. And now everything that he loved, that is the ball that he loved, has now gone into the water. This loss is unbearable for him, and he is in a great state of sorrow. So, his ball went, I would not intrude on him. The poet can suggest him to buy another ball, but he does not want to interfere. He knows that he can buy another ball. He says that I cannot even tell the boy to take some money, currency, dime is a currency, to take some money from him and go and buy another ball. And why does he say so? Because the new ball cannot bring the sense of belonging to the boy. So now he senses his first responsibility. Now the time has come for the boy to realize the responsibility and to accept the first lesson of the life, that nothing is permanent. So what responsibility? That we need to take care of our things. In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of loss, how to stand up, knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. So here possession means to own something. Ownership को क्या बोलते हैं? Possession. External, things with which feelings are not attached. ऐसी चीजें जिनके साथ हमारी feelings attached नहीं होती हैं, that is called as external. And epistemology, it comes from a Greek word epistem, which means knowledge. Okay, so epistemology means knowledge. Now, here the poet says that the boy now must learn that in this world of possessions, where we all are dying to own things. People will take balls, balls will be lost always. So now here ball has been personified. Here he is not talking only about ball, but he is talking about things in general. Everything that we own, everything that is owned by human beings. So he has personified ball. That the boy now must realize that in this materialistic world, many of his things will be lost. Whatever he possesses, of course, one or the other day he is going to lose them. So he has personified balls. When he is saying balls will be lost always, here please be clear that he does not only mean that the boy has number of balls and he'll keep losing it day after day. No, he's talking about things in general. So what he is saying, that be it relationship or be it worldly things, whatever you possess, we all are going to lose it one or the other day. So he says that the boy must now learn to live without them. And he also says, no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He says that no one can buy such things for you. Once you have lost something, that is lost. The same thing can never come back to you. And when he says money is external, money can buy, like the boy, when he loses his ball, of course he can buy another ball. But the feelings associated with the ball that he had lost, that feelings can never be bought back. So, according to the poet, money cannot buy you everything. What it can do is, it can buy you materialistic things. Yes, but that sense of belongingness, that sense of ownership, the feeling associated with any material thing, that cannot be bought back by any amount of money. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of laws. So now he says that the boy has now learned, or he must learn, how to stand up against this feeling or sense of lost things. So this means that now the boy has realized the reality of life. That is, we all must stand up and take the life as it is. We must, like we accept happiness, we also must accept the miseries of life. And now he has learned the epistemology of laws. Now he has already realized what is laws. Knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. So it is not only about the boy. This is the truth which everyone has to learn in his or her life. That is the reality of life, that life is not always going to be very smooth. There would be tough phases or tough parts of life. So we must stand up against all these things, and we must have the courage to bear it. Now if you see, again see balls, balls, repeated. So this is repetition. And here if you see, and no one buys a ball back. The sound of B, buys ball. That is alliteration. And there is no rhyming scheme in the poem. Thank you, students. We'll be giving you some questions based on the video. Please be sincere. Complete your assignments once we are back. And of course, soon we'll be back in the campus. You'll be marked for these home assignments. Thank you. I'll meet you again in the next lecture.